Hello everyone, I'm Marina and it's Sakramel School. In this video, I will show you how to do an e-file manicure in detail from A to Z. It will be really exciting and useful, so watch till the end and let's get into it. Here are today's nails. And there is actually a funny story behind them. This girl was supposed to be a model for my new course on a combined manicure. But her cuticle turned out to be super dry, so an e-file manicure is the best option here. There is a longitudinal crack on the thumb, and it is pretty painful, so I will need to repair it. And now let's remove the old coverage. It lasted long here. I'm using a green carbide drill bit. Make sure to remove all the liftings. Then a new coating will last perfectly. I remove the coating from the nail with the crack up to the natural nail without keeping the base coat. Just leave a thin base coat layer and remove it with a file. The first step to a clean manicure is opening up the cuticle pocket. We can use an orange stick or a metallic pusher for this purpose. Place it at the right angle, around 30 degrees to the cuticle. Not only do we push, but we also lift it up. Using the rectangular side of the pusher, clean up the pterygium with short moves. This film spreading onto the nail plate. The cleaner it is, the less we will have to work with an e-file. So it is kinda like a dry manicure. Don't push too hard on the lunula, since otherwise the nail may get deformed and wavy. We should also check the width of the lunula. If it's wide, then there is no deep subcuticular pocket there, and we should apply the coating close to the cuticle. At this point, we polish the nail surface with the hard side of the buffer to remove the material leftovers, and to lift up the nail scales for better bonding. To lift up the cuticle and clean up the pterygium, we will use a red diamond drill bit, 0.23 in diameter. It suits most cuticle types. The only exception is rough cuticle or nail faults. Then we will need to use a blue drill bit. Now divide the nail into two sections visually and start processing the left sides, making short forwarding strokes. I slightly touch the nail plate, but don't push too hard. To avoid excess pressure, make sure to lean on with the pinky finger of your active hand. Process all the left sides this way. Place the drill bit a bit diagonally. Make short moves in the sinuses to avoid cutting the skin. Pull the folds well to process the lateral sinuses. Polish them if needed. Done with the left sides. Now let's move on to the right ones. Switch the rotation direction to reverse for resistance, and move from left to right. Again, make short forwarding strokes. Work with the bit surface and not its tip, to avoid overfiling and cutting the nail plate. The next crucial step in the e-file manicure is forming a cuticle rim. In other words, we'll lift it up and keep it in this position to make cutting easier. We continue working in the reverse position, but this time we move from right to left. We also change the drill bit position. The handle is perpendicular to the nail plate, and we're working with the tip of the drill bit. Make sure not to touch the nail plate with it to avoid overfiling it. At this point, we can see what's going on inside the cuticle pocket, whether we have cleaned it up well, so we can touch it up if needed. To do a clean manicure, I clean it up in the reverse position, moving from right to left. And now the cuticle is ready for the cut. Since my model's cuticle is dry and thick, I'm using a blue rounded cylinder drill bit. it will cut off the cuticle instead of polishing it. With the first pass, we lift up the cuticle with the tip of the drill bit, and with the second one, we start cutting it. Make forwarding moves. Don't stay in one area for too long, since it may hurt. So watch the client's reaction and stop when needed. Well, the cutout won't get perfectly smooth without polishing, so use a silicone carbide polisher or a red rounded cylinder drill bit. We can polish the skin in the forward position. The speed is 5 to 7,000 RPM, moving from right to left. We can also apply a hydrating toner or water and polish the skin. It will get nicely peeled off without any hangnails. Now switch to the forward position. Grab the finger with an upper grip, turn it sideways, polish the cuticle, and touch up the left fold. Make sure that there are no hangnails left. I also polished all the cracks on the skin here. Done with the manicure, let's take a closer look. It is perfectly clean, so we can proceed with the coating. And first things first, we need to shape the nails. We want to form a soft square shape here, but these nails are far from it, so I will extend them a little bit. I degreased the surface and apply adhesive products, a primer, and a base coat, in a thin layer as an underlay. I cover up the crack on the thumb with the base coat and then put a small drop on it. I will use some fiberglass to fix it. I cut out a tiny fragment, apply it to the crack, and soak the material with the base coat. When it gets clear, I sand the nail to cure in a lamp. This way we can prevent the crack from spreading further, and it won't bother my model anymore. I will build up missing corners where needed using some jelly gel. This material does not flow, and unlike the acrylic gel, it forms a thin layer. That is why I've chosen it. I'm pulling the gel with a thin brush and quickly sand the nail to cure. Make sure to do one nail at a time to prevent the gel from flowing to the center. Now I wipe off the tacky layer and touch up the free edge. I slightly file the surface to remove all the bumps. Now let's proceed with the alignment. First, cover up the nail plate, forming a wet underlay. Now put a drop in the highest point, pull, touch it up with a thin brush, and turn the nail over if needed. Repeat this on the rest of the nails. We can see that the crack on the thumb is patched, and the nail does not peel anymore. There are some layerings left under the nails, so let's file them out with an e-file. I'm using a thin ceramic drill bit. Now wipe off the dust, and we're done with filing. Let's cover up the nails with this gorgeous shade. I get close to the cuticle, touch up the coating with a thin brush where needed, and sand the nail to cure. Let's cover up the nails with a glossy top coat, turn the hand over to form perfect highlights, and that's it for this manicure. Here's the result, an e-file manicure without using any cutting tools. So give a thumbs up if you liked it. I wish you all success in your work. Bye bye!